How's it going, guys? Man, is it ever gonna like quit being cloudy every day and rainy? Guess we'll be in the spring, but my new tractor. Check it out. It has a flat tire already. It's great. That's not what this video is about. Got this 420cc Honda clone. I think it's cloned after a GX390. Has electric start, and someday I want to do something with this as far as like some kind of buggy or something like that. And I bought it for a Rhino frame that I had, but I just didn't. I wasn't liking how the project was going, so I kind of threw it over the side. I'm gonna do something better later on. I removed the governor out of it so that it operates more like a ATV engine, and I want to change the carburetor out so that it's more like an ATV engine instead of having this, you know, I mean, you can make linkages and things like that just fine, but I want to make it so that it starts up easier, and you know, hooking linkages and stuff up will be what I want to use, will be a lot easier. And I want to do it with a four-wheeler ATV carburetor. This is a PZ30. This is the biggest of this design, and the things about it is, you know, I can operate the throttle just by hooking linkages to the cable, and this thing returns itself. So all I gotta do is just hook cables to the cable, and also I can operate the choke with the cable, so everything can be done from the driver's seat. This carburetor should be big enough for this, just because even though this is 420cc, the valving for this engine pretty much sucks, and the camming of this engine pretty much sucks. One thing that it's good to do with these is change the valve springs, at least so that when you go above the rated RPM that this engine was designed for, you'd have valve float with the valve springs that's in there. I'll probably change those out at some point, but other than that, so I have pretty good faith that this will work. I had this on a 300EX, which is a 4-valve engine, and cammed a lot better, and it was on the edge of its life with it. But if you can run that, you can run this. And another thing too is, a lot of times putting a carburetor on, if the old you know, this bore size right here, you know, if this carburetor here is at least, you know, the same size or smaller than this one, this carburetor will probably work. So we'll get this off, you know, this stuff here off, see what we got. Alright, so I got the carburetor off this guy. You see, here's the intake hole. And you see the mouth of this guy, and then, oh, see if I can get these guys beside each other. Look at the mouth of that one. PZ30, original carburetor. So I should be just fine. This carburetor here is like probably 40% bigger. So all I gotta do is make some sort of flange for this thing so that I can weld a tube coming off and make a flange for carburetor. Made a video a while back on a Briggs & Stratton. I think it was a 13, I call it 13 horse, and the carburetor was completely screwed on it. I'm looking at this carburetor, and other than this bolt pattern, maybe I could make an adapter. I think this carburetor would work on there. I mean, the bad thing about the lawnmowers is they do run off the governor, and I don't know if I can get the linkages correct as far as hooking this up, but you know, it's a lot like that carburetor. I think I could may actually be able to get it to work on there. Alright, so I have a flange made up for the carburetor. And it'll bolt right on there just like that. So then I just need to make a flange for this, which I'm going to use probably the gasket came off of it. And I'll just trace this out on a piece of metal, drill it, cut it out, and then all I need then is a tube to weld to the new plate, you know, each plate. I'll be good to go. I'll make a plate for this one. Alright, we got the inner flange made. And you see that there's like a block in here. I really didn't notice it last time I was working on it. I just thought maybe I seen it was black, you know, surface on here, and I thought maybe that it was just like another gasket or something. And I came out today and discovered that there was this plate. It has to be on there because the holes would be in at an angle. This head's kind of cut at an angle, but so I'll have to leave the plate in there, and it kind of holds the spark plug wire. Anyway, we got a piece of DOM. That'll get welded onto there, and then this will get welded to the DOM. Alright, for those of you who know or have been watching this channel for a while, knows that my building here is powered by solar and a power inverter, and I am currently running this welder on the 2000 watt Syntec power inverter. I've never tried it before. I thought I'd give it a whirl. I just wanted to tack this stuff up so that it is in the position that it needs to be, you know, and then I can take it off and weld it all up. But I just want to tack it. I don't plan on welding this all up with the inverter, but you know, just getting it, you know, tacked together. I just think that's way cool that that inverter will run the welder. I did have it alarm out once, and it was because the rod stuck for too long and then it alarmed out. But as long as it's, you know, welding away, it does just fine. Super cool stuff. Alright guys, we got the intake manifold made. Yeah, painted it up a little bit to make it look good and clean this carburetor up. And got a brand new air filter on there. And it's set up, has a cable for a choke. Somebody would have to make, you know, their own leverage end on here, and it has a thumb throttle from a four-wheeler. Got it hooked up to a battery, and the bowl is full, so we'll fire it up. So there it is. Somebody actually requested a video on that thing. I hopefully come back and check it out. But I'll see you guys later.